Would you like to have a green thumb? Having a green thumb is not as difficult as it may seem. All you have to do is learn how to make a plant feel at home. But here's the deal. You can't make a plant feel at home if you don't know what your plant needs. So first you've got to learn something about your plant. You've got to learn what it likes and what it doesn't like so you can give it what it needs. And then it's going to grow and bloom and multiply. So how do you have a green thumb? You learn about your plant. You give it what it needs, and you get ready for it to grow. Come on over to the planting bench and let's get started. The plants on my bench today are known as Sansevieria. You might hear people calling them a snake plant or a mother-in-law tongue. But let's take just a minute to get to know this plant. Sansevieria is native to Africa, Asia, and Madagascar, where the air is dry and arid, with lots of sunshine, and the soil is rocky and shallow with very few nutrients, and rainfall is inconsistent and infrequent. So what do we know about making the Sansevieria feel at home based on Africa and Asia and Madagascar? First of all, it needs a warm, dry environment, which makes it an excellent houseplant. It should need lots of sunshine, but this plant is very adaptable. It can thrive with very little sunlight. It needs soil that drains quickly, like the soil for a cactus or a succulent. It needs water, but not very often. You want the soil to be completely dried out before you give it a drink. Add fertilizer only in the spring and dilute it by about 50%. If you give Sansevieria what it needs, then you can be prepared for it to grow and thrive and bloom and multiply. Let's take a look at the roots and the shoots of this plant. So let's talk about the top part of the plant. The leaves grow long and thin. They are stiff because they're filled with moisture. And if I bent it too far, it would actually snap. And if you came up to your plant and you were looking at it one day and you noticed that it was getting a little bit mushy, that's a sign that it needs a drink. If it looks a little bit pruny, if it looks like it's shriveling a little bit, that's a sign that it's gone too far and it needs a drink. So when you give your Sansevieria a drink, you want to completely soak it, because it's been sitting dry for a long time. You want to water it, and you want the water to fall out the bottom of the pot, and you want to do that 2 or 3 times in order to completely drench the soil when you do water it. And then you can set it back in its place and you can ignore it again for a good long while. Let's talk about what's going on inside the pot, because that's just as important as what's happening outside the pot. You'll see that it has roots, but you'll also see that there's something else going on here. This is the beginning of a rhizome. And a rhizome is a stem that grows under the ground. And it will store moisture and nutrients. And this is what allows the plant to be very dry. Sometimes you notice your pot buckling like this because the rhizome is growing and it's running out of room in the pot. So if you're growing Sansevieria, it's really helpful occasionally, every 6 months or so, to actually take it out of the pot and see how big that rhizome is getting. Now, if you have a mature plant that's filled up the whole pot with leaves, you might find a situation like this. If you notice, the rhizome, instead of growing out to the side, is growing up. And this is what happens when your plant gets crowded in the pot. When there's no room for the rhizomes to grow, they'll start growing up and actually be growing outside of the soil. And if you see that happen, it's past time to repot your plant. But what you can do is just cut off the rhizome like that. You can put them in the pot together, or you can put them in separate pots. As long as there is a piece of the rhizome and a piece of the root coming off of it, it's ready to be put in the dirt and to grow. If you're an unstructured person and you really don't like to follow a schedule, then the Sansevieria is for you, because it does not want to be watered on a regular basis. You can plan on watering it every 2 to 3 weeks, and just know that if you happen to forget, it probably will forgive you. So thanks for playing in the dirt with me. If you've learned something important, please consider subscribing. If you grow Sansevieria or another easy starter plant, leave a comment.